Okay, good morning everyone. So in the last tutorial we have already finished the detail of the wheel. So for this time I want to finish the head of the tank and also the cannon area. So how can we do that? The first things I would suggest you guys to do is to analyze the composition of the geometries. As far as you can see, if we go to the top view, well, actually it looks pretty much like a cylinder, but in the back part it has some decline edge on the border. And also in the shape, you can find out the bottom part actually is bigger than the upper part. So that's the things we need to do. So how can we do that? We can using a single box as a start. I would suggest you guys, well, at the very beginning, try to using solid geometry. Try to using solid geometry as the basis. Let's choosing the box and choosing 100 in centimeter and type in 80 in the Y's. And also for the height, let's type in probably 40. So this is the beginning box. After you finish this one, let's using polyline. Choosing the middle, make sure you have selected the object name and check all these vertex. Hold on your shift key, draw a horizontal line. Okay, so once you finish, let's go to the top view. And then we need to cut off this box into half. Control T, choosing the curve, and cut this one into half. So for the rest part, let's type in block and choosing the base point and choose tank and type in the name of this part. Let's name this one tank head. Click OK. And tank head is already exists. It doesn't matter. Let's call this one tank head A. Click OK. So now we have the tank head. And let's mirror this part to the other side. Okay, just like this. So from now on, no matter what I did on the bottom side, it will automatically reflect to the other side. So the next part, the things we are going to do is to take a look of the shape. We are going to make this part become a decline curve and this part become a round curve. So let's double click this area and let's draw a decline curve here. And let's using trim. Choosing the trim first and choosing the curve second, press enter. And then choosing a part which we don't want to leave, so which means this corner. And very important thing is that make sure everything is on the right perspective. If we go to perspective view and you want to cut, well, basically it is impossible because this is just a simple line and Rhino doesn't know which part you want to cut off. So, but the things we want to cut off actually is this corner and the cutting section is supposed to be a vertical line. So it's better for you to switch to the top view to do the cutting. So remember, no matter you are going to using trim or using split, and you are using line or surface for cutting, make sure you are under the right perspective, the right view. Okay, so for the other part, let's go to the perspective view. For this part, I want to make a round corner. So let's using fillet surface. For the radius, because this part is around 40 centimeter, this part is around 100. So let's using probably around 30 centimeter in radius. So let's choosing the fillet surface and choose this one, choosing the second one. So now we get that. So finally, we have to join them together and we have to clean up the unnecessary surface. So let's using trim again, choosing the surface, press enter, delete, delete. And for this area, let's using lost. Select the edge, and press enter. And sometimes these kind of things will happen because the direction of this edge and the direction of the bottom edge is different. So you can choose a legion curve and make this one just drag, make them have the same direction and you will be fine. Once you finish, press enter and click OK and it will be done. Finally, select all of them and press Ctrl J for join or go to edit, choosing join. Alright, so next part I want to create the big face, this area. So how can we do that? Very easy. Choosing Shift and Control key, select the face here, and choosing Extrude for extrusion. I'd like to extrude probably, well, doesn't matter. It's up to you. Just visually okay, and you will be fine. So next part, also this part has been a little bit declined. So let's choose an edge here. Hold on your Shift and Control key, and you can select an edge or vertex. This time I want to choose an edge. Select this part and move this one up. So now we have the geometry like this. Finally, we have to scale up the bottom area. So let's choosing the bottom surface. Hold on your Shift and Control key. Scale up in the X direction and scale up in the Y direction. Okay, so now we have. And you may find out, well, it looks nice, but it goes out of the mirror line. So if I click OK, the inner part, the middle part, it will intersect it. It's not the result I want. So how can we fix that? Actually, it's very easy. Double click, go to the block editing mode, go to the top view. Let's draw a mirror line inside the block. And then using trim, select the cutting line, press enter, and delete the rest of the area. Okay? So now, once you finish, press OK, press enter, and click OK, and you'll be fine. So for the head of the tank, it's pretty much finished. Although it's just a rough, sharp geometry, so we haven't finished the detail, like this kind of round corner or this kind of joint. Well, we can ignore that part first. For the next part, I want to make the joint here and also the canal. How can we do that? Very easy. Let's use in box again. For the tank model, let's just use in box, and I would say it's quite enough. Make this cube and move this one forward and rotate this one to 90 degrees. Move this one down and scale down in the Y directions. Go to the side view. Let's go to the front view or right view. Move this one to the right positions. Okay, just like this. Let's go to perspective and take a look. It looks fine. So I want to make a round corner right here. So how can we do that? Let's enlarge it a little bit, just a little bit. And let's using fillet surface again. For this time, it's supposed to be smaller. We can use in dimension, linear dimension, to know the size right here. Let's go to the front view and to get the real scale of this part. This will around 20 centimeter. Usually, I prefer you guys to have a very precise integer, but for the first time, I think it's okay. Just try to make a visual precise model, and it will be fine. That's using the fillet surface. Choose this one, and for the radius, it's supposed to be smaller. So let's type in 10. Choose this part, and press enter again. Repeat the last command which we have used before. Oh, it doesn't work. Why? Because this part doesn't have enough space. So let's try to do that again. Fillet, and this time let's using probably 9. Press enter again, 9. So now it's pretty much finished. Let's using trim to trim the resting area. Select the trim first, choosing the surface second, press enter, delete, 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 delete. So now let's select all of them, press Ctrl J for join. So now we have the joint. Finally, about the canal, that's using cylinder. Again, draw a long cylinder, and then the radius you can define by yourself. So let's draw in a vertical way and then copy, hold on your Alt key, copy one more, scale down in the Z direction, and scale up in the X directions. Alright? So that's the prototype of the tank, of the tank canal. So for the rest of the part, I want to do is to make them become a group, and then using block again. Select all of them and make a block. And I will call this one canal tank canal. Click OK. So for this part, we can finish. This is the prototype. So we can copy this one to here and probably go to the front view, rotate this one, and put this guy in the appropriate positions. Okay, so that's the result. So from now on, if I want to make some more detail on the canal, we can just go to here. It will be way more easier to do the modeling right here. So for example, I want to scale up in the X and Y direction. And also, I want to make this part hollow. So select Shift and Control key, and hold on Auto and Shift key, scale down, and select the surface here, and extrude. Alright, so now we have these geometries. Next part, that's using Boolean difference. Choosing a cylinder first, press Enter. Select the inner cylinder second, press Enter. So now we have. And also this part, if you want, you can delete that as well. But I will leave that just like this. Okay, click OK. So now you can, as far as you can see, now we have this part. Let's try to clean up this area so that hide the iso curve and also delete the useless curve for this part as well. Yes, hide the iso curve. Remember, if you want to hide the iso curve of the block, you have to double click, enter the block editing mode, and uncheck the show surface iso curve. Click OK, and it will be done. This is a very basic geometry, so right now it doesn't have much detail, but we can keep editing that and add more detail here. Alright, so that's all for today. See you next time.